Picture a garage worth more than entire neighborhoods, except nothing inside has wheels. Instead, you're looking at aluminum, rivets, and radial engines that once screamed across European skies at 400 miles per hour. Vintage fighter jets aren't just aircraft. They're flying monuments to aerial combat, and some of Hollywood's biggest names have spent millions to own them. Stay until the end, because the number one spot isn't just one warbird. It's an entire squadron worth more than some private islands. Let's start with number 10 on our list. Michael Dorn, the actor behind Worf in Star Trek, doesn't just play warriors on screen. He flies machines built for actual combat. His North American T-28 Trojan, valued somewhere between $300,000 and $600,000, was the aircraft that trained fighter pilots during the Korean and Vietnam eras. Under that cowling sits a Wright R-1820 radial engine producing around 1,425 horsepower. Cruise speeds hover around 280 miles per hour, which doesn't sound blistering until you remember this thing was teaching young pilots how to handle high-performance aircraft before they graduated to jets. The T-28 is muscular, loud, and utterly unforgiving if you get sloppy with the controls. But training aircraft are just the warm-up. The next celebrity went straight for something that actually saw combat. Number 9 takes us to Nicolas Cage, who reportedly owned a P-40 Warhawk, valued in the $1.5 million to $2.5 million range. This is the aircraft with those famous shark teeth painted on the nose, the same design that terrorized Japanese pilots over China with the Flying Tigers. Power comes from an Allison V1710, producing around 1,200 horsepower, pushing the Warhawk to speeds exceeding 360 miles per hour. The P-40 wasn't the fastest fighter of World War II, and it wasn't the most maneuverable, but it was tough, reliable, and deadly in the right hands. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to taxi an aircraft that once dove through anti-aircraft fire, this is as close as money can buy. And speaking of money, the next owner spent considerably more on something even rarer. Number 8 belongs to John Travolta, whose aviation collection has reportedly included a P-51 Mustang valued north of $4 million. The Mustang is powered by that legendary Packard-built Rolls-Royce Merlin V12, churning out roughly 1,490 horsepower. Cruise speeds sit comfortably around 360 to 380 miles per hour, with a service ceiling above 40,000 feet. This was the aircraft that turned the tide of the air war over Europe, escorting bombers deep into Germany and back. Travolta isn't just a collector, he's a licensed pilot who actually flies his aircraft, which means he's felt that Merlin engine shake the airframe during takeoff. That's not something you experience at a museum, but not everyone wants American iron. The next celebrity chose British elegance instead. Number 7 goes to Brad Pitt, who reportedly owns a Supermarine Spitfire valued between $3 million and $5 million, depending on restoration and combat history. The Spitfire's elliptical wings are not just beautiful, they are aerodynamically brilliant, reducing drag while improving high-speed handling. Power comes from a Rolls-Royce Merlin V12, producing over 1,400 horsepower, capable of pushing the aircraft past 360 miles per hour. The Spitfire defended Britain during the darkest days of 1940, and that heritage adds zeros to the price tag very quickly. Owning one means preserving a piece of history that quite literally saved a nation. Now, if you think single-engine fighters are impressive, wait until the next celebrity fires up something with twice the engines and twice the attitude. Number 6 features Rod Lewis, the billionaire who owns one of the world's largest private warbird collections, including a Lockheed P-38 Lightning valued north of $4 million. This twin-boom fighter is powered by 2 Allison V1710 engines, producing a combined 2,600 horsepower. Top speed exceeds 410 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest piston fighters of the war. The P-38 was so distinctive that German pilots called it the fork-tailed devil. Flying one requires managing 2 engines, 2 turbochargers, and a control feel completely unlike any single-engine fighter. But devil nicknames aside, the next aircraft on our list earned its reputation through sheer firepower. Number 5 belongs to Larry Ellison, the Oracle founder whose collection has included a North American P-51 Mustang and reportedly a Grumman F-8F Bearcat, the latter valued around $2 to $3 million. The Bearcat was the fastest piston engine fighter in American infantry at the end of World War II, powered by a massive Pratt & Whitney R2800, producing 2,100 horsepower. That power-to-weight ratio allowed climb rates that jet pilots would respect. Ellison does not just collect these aircraft, he races them at the Reno Air Races, where Bearcats still tear around pylons at speeds exceeding 400 miles per hour. Racing Warbirds transitions perfectly into our next entry because this celebrity took competition to another level. Number 4 showcases Steve Hinton Sr., the legendary warbird pilot and restorer, whose collection includes multiple P-51 Mustangs and a highly modified Hawker Sea Fury valued well over $3 million. The Sea Fury is powered by a Bristol Centaurus radial, producing around 2,500 horsepower in race configuration. In 2017, Hinton set the piston engine speed record at 554 miles per hour in a modified Mustang. His Sea Fury Dreadnought is one of the most feared competitors at Reno. When your aircraft collection doubles as race-winning machinery, you've transcended collecting into something closer to obsession. Speaking of obsession, our top 3 entries take warbird ownership to levels that border on aviation museums. Number 3 belongs to John Paul DeJoria, the billionaire behind Paul Mitchell Hair Products, who owns a stunning collection including a Vought F4U Corsair valued between $2.5 million and $4 million. The Corsair's inverted gull wings make it instantly recognizable, and the Pratt & Whitney R2800 engine produces 2,000 horsepower. During World War II, the Corsair achieved an 11-to-1 kill ratio against Japanese aircraft. That distinctive whistling sound from the wing oil coolers earned it the nickname Whistling Death among enemy pilots. DeJoria's Corsair is fully airworthy and appears regularly at air shows, which means maintaining an aircraft that requires constant attention and a dedicated crew. But maintaining one warbird is impressive. Maintaining several requires a different level of commitment entirely. Number 2 goes to Tom Cruise, whose aviation obsession extends far beyond Top Gun filming. His collection reportedly includes a P-51 Mustang valued north of $4 million, along with rumored ownership interests in other warbirds. Cruise doesn't just own these aircraft as static investments. He holds multiple pilot ratings and actually flies them. The P-51's Merlin V12 demands respect with every startup, and Cruise has logged the hours to understand exactly what 1,490 horsepower feels like when it's pulling you through aerobatic maneuvers. If you've ever wondered whether celebrities actually fly their expensive aircraft or just pose next to them, Cruise removes all doubt. And now, one. The collector whose Warbird fleet makes everyone else look like beginners. Dan Friedkin takes the top spot with an aviation collection worth tens of millions of dollars. We're talking multiple P-51 Mustangs, Supermarine Spitfires, a Messerschmitt Bf-109, a Focke-Wulf FW-190, and several T-6 Texans. Each restored Mustang sits around $4 million to $5 million. Each combat veteran Spitfire adds another $3 million to $5 million. The German fighters are even rarer, with authentic Bf-109s commanding premiums that make other Warbirds look affordable. Friedkin's collection represents both sides of the air war over Europe, maintained in flying condition and operated by professional pilots. When you hear a formation of Merlins starting up at an air show, there's a decent chance they belong to him. So if you made it all the way to number 1, you understand that vintage fighter jets represent something beyond wealth. They're flying connections to the pilots who strapped into these cockpits when the stakes were life and death. Tell me in the comments, would you choose the American Mustang, the British Spitfire, or something rarer, like a German Bf-109? And if aviation like this keeps you watching, hit subscribe, because next we're covering the most expensive private jets celebrities have ever purchased.